I wasn't looking for company. Not at 75. After my wife Linda passed, the house became a quiet museum of our life together. Her rocking chair stayed empty. Her knitting basket stayed untouched. I kept her favorite mug by the sink, not because I used it, but because moving it felt like erasing something I wasn't ready to lose. Most mornings, I'd shuffle out to the porch with my coffee, stare at the street, and listen to the silence that never answered back. And then, one cold morning, something changed. I saw a small, scruffy dog wandering across my lawn. Thin as a twig, one ear flopped over, the other sticking straight up, like it was listening for trouble. He paused when he saw me. I didn't speak. He didn't move. Two strangers, both equally unsure what to do with loneliness. He sniffed the ground, gave me a cautious glance, and then walked away. I figured that was it. A passing moment in a life full of slow, empty days. But the next morning, he came again. Same spot, same silence, same curious eyes studying me like I was a puzzle he might want to solve. I don't know what made me do it, but I set an extra half slice of toast on the porch rail. Nothing fancy, just something small. I didn't offer it directly. I just left it there. He didn't touch it until I went inside. The third morning, he was waiting for me before I stepped out. This time, he wagged his tail gently, the way someone might test if a handshake is welcome. "Hello there," I said softly. His tail wagged faster. It became our routine. Coffee for me, toast for him, silence for both. He never came close enough to touch, but he stayed long enough that I began to expect him. Maybe even look forward to him. After 2 weeks of this, a storm rolled in. Rain hammered the roof that night, and for the first time in months, I felt worry. Real, sharp worry. The kind you feel when you care about something. "Where is he?" I whispered to an empty room. The next morning, I opened the door hoping to see him. Nothing. No paw prints in the mud. No little body shaking off water. The porch felt colder than usual. I waited and waited. Almost gave up. And then he appeared, drenched, shivering, and exhausted, but still walking toward me. That was the first time he let me get close. I knelt slowly, holding out a towel like an offering. He hesitated, then stepped toward me, his whole body trembling. I wrapped him gently, dried his fur, and felt the warmth of another living being for the first time since Linda left. He leaned into my knee, just once, just a tiny moment, and it felt like the world shifted a little. "You need a name," I whispered. His right ear lifted. "How about Buddy?" His tail made a slow circle in the air, the kind of circle that says, "I accept." Buddy became my morning companion, my afternoon distraction, my evening warmth curled at my feet. He wasn't just a dog. He was a heartbeat in a house that had forgotten what a heartbeat sounded like. Neighbors started noticing. "New dog?" they'd ask. "Not exactly," I'd say. He sort of adopted me, but the truth was deeper. Buddy didn't just adopt me. He rescued me. He made me step outside more, walk a little farther, breathe a little deeper, talk to people I hadn't spoken to in years. One day, walking down Maple Street, an older gentleman watering his lawn said, "That dog loves you. You can see it." I smiled, truly smiled. Buddy nudged my hand as if to say, "Yes, I do." As weeks turned to months, he became my shadow. He'd rest his chin on my knee while I read the newspaper. He'd follow me from room to room, as if checking to make sure loneliness hadn't snuck back in. He'd jump onto my recliner and look at me like, "Move over, old man. This seat is ours." And I moved. Every time. One chilly December evening, something happened that I didn't expect. I fell asleep in my chair, and Buddy curled beside me. When I woke up around midnight, I found myself stroking his fur without even thinking. A simple, gentle rhythm, something I used to do with Linda when she sat beside me. And I realized I wasn't lonely at that moment, not even a little. A few weeks later, I took Buddy to the vet for the first time. She scanned him for a microchip. None. She checked his health. Underweight, but okay. She asked me, "So, is he yours?" Buddy looked up at me, eyes bright, tail thumping softly against the steel table. I answered without hesitation, "Yes, he's mine." On the drive home, Buddy rested his head on my lap. I kept one hand on the wheel and the other on his back, feeling his small, steady breaths. At a stoplight, a memory of Linda flashed, her laughing, her hand resting on my forearm in that same comforting way. "Thank you," I whispered to Buddy, "for filling the quiet." He didn't understand the words, but he understood the tone. His tail thumped softly. Life didn't suddenly become perfect. I still missed Linda every single day. I still talked to her picture on the mantel. I still made coffee for one. But now, someone was waiting beside me while I drank it. Someone nudged my leg when I stayed sad too long. Someone sat beside me on the porch and stared at the sunrise like it meant something. Buddy didn't replace my grief. He softened its edges. He didn't erase my past. He helped me keep living with it. He didn't fill the hole in my heart. He curled up inside it. And that, I learned, was enough. Now, when I sit on the porch in the early morning and Buddy leans against my leg, I think to myself, at 75, I didn't expect to find family again. But sometimes, family doesn't arrive at birth. Sometimes it wanders into your yard, shivering and alone, needing you just as much as you need it. Buddy wasn't just a stray dog. He was the piece of love life gave back to me when I thought I had no more love left to receive.